Your dog walks to their spot, drops their head, and starts scratching, dragging their paws across the carpet, the hardwood, the dog bed, again and again, like they are trying to dig through the floor. You have probably told them to stop. Maybe you have grabbed their collar and redirected them to just lie down already. What if that was exactly the wrong response? What if that scratching, that specific, repetitive motion, is one of the most precise signals your dog's body knows how to send? And the last reason on this list is the one that changes how you see the whole behavior. Stay with me. We're going through 5 reasons your dog scratches before sleeping, each one a distinct biological or psychological signal, and what the behavior is actually telling you in each case. By the end, you will know exactly how to read it and what your dog actually needs from you when it happens. Reason 1, they are building a den that no longer exists. Start here because this is the root of everything else. Before dogs lived in houses, before they had beds or blankets or climate-controlled rooms, they slept on the ground. And the ground was not safe by default. It could hide insects, parasites, and small predators in the grass and undergrowth. Before lying down, a wild dog or wolf would circle and scratch the surface, clearing the debris, flattening the vegetation, creating a physical perimeter that was checked and shaped before they allowed themselves to become vulnerable in it. That sequence, scratch, check, circle, settle, is tens of thousands of years old. It predates domestication. It predates your carpet. Which is why stopping them mid-ritual, before the check is complete, can leave their nervous system in a state of mild, unresolved alertness. They were not done. They did not get the signal that the space was safe. Understanding this changes how you respond to it. Reason 2, they are regulating their body temperature. This one surprises people because it looks nothing like what it is. Dogs cannot sweat the way humans do. Their primary cooling mechanism is panting. But they do have one other thermoregulatory tool, the sweat glands in their paw pads. The paws are one of the few places on a dog's body where direct heat exchange with a surface is possible. When a dog scratches at a surface before lying down, part of what they are doing is testing the thermal properties of that surface. Digging into carpet or bedding exposes the cooler layers underneath. On a warm day, a dog who scratches away the top layer of a blanket before lying down is not being difficult. They are engineering their sleeping surface to the temperature their body needs. The reverse is also true. In cold conditions, a dog may scratch at bedding to pile it up, creating an insulating nest of layered material that traps body heat. Same motion, opposite purpose. If you have already seen your dog in one of those first 2, hit like. It helps this reach other owners who've been telling their dog to stop without knowing what they were actually saying. Keep watching because reason 4 is the one that catches most people off guard, and reason 5 is the one that matters most. Reason 3, they are marking the space as theirs. There is a layer to the scratching that has nothing to do with temperature or safety, and everything to do with scent. Dogs have scent glands in their paw pads. When they scratch a surface, they are not just physically rearranging it. They are depositing their chemical signature into it. The friction of the paw against the material releases scent compounds that mark the area as occupied, familiar, and claimed. This is the same instinct that drives dogs to scratch the ground after urinating outdoors. The scratch is a secondary marking, layering scent into the environment after the primary signal has been placed. On their sleeping surface, the scratching serves the same purpose. By the time they lie down, the space smells like them. It has been claimed. It is no longer a neutral surface. It is theirs. This is also why a dog will often scratch more on a freshly washed bed than on an older one. You removed their scent signature. They are reinstating it. Reason 4.
They are scanning the surface with their nervous system. This layer operates below the level most owners ever think about, and it explains why the scratching persists even when the surface is perfectly flat, perfectly clean, and perfectly comfortable by any human standard. A dog's paws are among the most sensory-rich parts of their body. The pads contain mechanoreceptors, nerve endings that are extraordinarily sensitive to pressure, texture, vibration, and resistance. When a dog scratches at their sleeping surface, part of what is happening is a full sensory scan of the material. They are not just feeling the surface, they are reading it.
Firmness, texture, how the material compresses and rebounds under their weight, whether it yields the way their body needs it to. This tactile feedback loop tells their nervous system whether the surface is appropriate for the depth of rest they are about to attempt. This is why dogs often scratch at surfaces that already look perfectly shaped, and why they may reject a brand new bed in favor of a worn, compressed one. The worn surface has a sensory history. The new one has not been read yet.
Reason 5. When it becomes obsessive, their environment is failing them entirely. Here is the one that matters most, and the one most owners miss entirely. Occasional pre-sleep scratching is normal, healthy, and biologically grounded in everything we have just covered. But when the scratching becomes excessive, prolonged, frantic, impossible to interrupt, happening on multiple surfaces, including floors and walls, that is a different signal entirely. That is your dog's environment failing to meet a need their body is urgently trying to fill.
The most common cause is a sleeping surface that does not match their physical requirements. A bed that is too soft provides no resistance feedback. A surface that is too warm prevents thermoregulation. A space that carries no familiar scent cannot be marked and settled into. A dog who cannot complete their pre-sleep ritual will keep trying. They will scratch longer, harder, and on more surfaces because the signal they are waiting for, the one that tells their nervous system the space is safe, the temperature is right, the territory is marked, never arrives.
Anxiety is the second driver. A dog under chronic stress has a nervous system that is perpetually slightly elevated. The gap between their alert state and the rest state required for sleep is wider than it should be. The scratching, the self-soothing, sensory-regulating loop of the paw against a surface, is doing more heavy lifting than it was designed to do. It can scratch for 10 minutes and still not get there, because the problem is not the bed. The problem is the baseline the dog is starting from.
A bed with some resistance, material that compresses under weight but pushes back, will satisfy the tactile scan faster. A surface that retains their scent between washes will need less remarking each night. A predictable routine in a calm environment will lower the baseline arousal level, so the scratching ritual can actually do the job it was designed to do. 5 signals, stacked from ancient to urgent. 1. They are running a security check that predates domestication. The scratch is a safety protocol their nervous system still requires before vulnerability is possible. 2. They are engineering their surface temperature. The scratching exposes cooler or warmer layers depending on what their body needs. It is thermoregulation through paw contact. 3. They are marking the space as theirs. Scent glands in the paw pads deposit their chemical signature into the surface. A freshly washed bed gets scratched more because you removed it. 4. They are scanning the surface with their nervous system. For anxious and older dogs, the repetitive motion is also a self-soothing mechanism that bridges the gap between alert and rest. 5. When it becomes obsessive, their environment is failing them. Stop trying to interrupt the behavior. Start identifying what need it is failing to meet. The scratching was never random. Every drag of the paw across your floor is your dog's body running a system that kept their ancestors alive.
Now you know how to read it. Drop in the comments, does your dog scratch before sleeping? And which surface do they do it on most? The answers tell me a lot about what video to make next. Subscribe if you want the follow-up, because the next video covers 5 other things your dog does in the last few minutes before sleep that are sending you signals most owners have never been told about. It is on screen right now.